How's it going, everybody? I have just watched the first episode of the brand new Yu-Gi-Oh series, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens, and I wanted to share with you all my initial review of the first episode. I want to talk about what I think of the new main character, what I feel about the atmosphere of the new show, I guess, the direction it's going in, the new Rush Duel mechanic, Rush Duel format, I guess would be a better way to describe it, and if I feel like this series is a series for you as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan. So, yeah, here we go. Did I like this first episode? Do I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens at the moment? And the answer is, which surprised me, yes. I actually really liked it. And honestly, I'm surprised by my reception of this episode, because if you go back and watch the last video in this playlist where I'm reacting to the trailer, I have mixed feelings on it. The art style, I'm a bit, it looks like it's being tailored towards a younger demographic. The characters are de-aged compared to a couple of the last series. I think he's like 11, the main character in this one. The Rush Duels mechanic, now we know a lot more about it. It does 100% seem tailored to try and get new people into the card game, younger people especially. And there's a giant robot. All these things added together, you would think I would dislike it being so child-aimed. But it was a lot of fun. The way I would describe the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is fun, energetic, and I guess fresh. It's a fresh air in a way. So yeah, if there's one thing you're going to take from this video, I would wholeheartedly recommend the first episode because I enjoyed it. I'm curious to see where the rest of it's going to go. I'm going to be watching every week, so yeah. So that's enough of my initial thoughts. Let's talk about the episode. So first of all, who is our new main character? Our new main character is an 11-year-old called YUGA Oda. He's kept the U in his name, so cool, thumbs up. He attends a high school in Oda City, and everyone in this universe still duels, of course. They have duel discs. They're not as good as the Arc 5 duel discs, but I think they're okay. They look good. They're dueling in the real world still. They're not in a VR realm or anything like that. Except the place that they're living in now is very strict in terms of rules, specifically around dueling and things like that, because you have a penalty system on your duel disc. You get basically 6 strikes. If you start messing with your duel disc, like opening it up, you've got like a limit of how long you can mess with it for, then it gives you a penalty, just in case it was like an accident or something. I assume there's other ways of getting these penalties, but if you get 6 penalties on your duel disc, your account gets banned. What that means, having your account banned, I'm not too sure. In the context of this world, I guess it means you can't duel anymore, but I don't really know what that means just yet. Our main character is an inventor type, savvy with the computers, I'll say at least. He's very energetic, and he seems to want to modify his duel disc to create his new invention, which he calls roads. His roads are his inventions. So he wants to create his new road, which is a new dueling type called Rush Duels, which we'll talk about a little bit later. We get established that the world that they live in is quite rigid. There's only certain times you can have your duel disc out and duel. There's a bit which I really thought was, we'd never seen it in Yu-Gi-Oh! Before, people actually trading Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. We've seen, obviously, Yu-Gi give Joey like Time Wizard and things, or if they win it off people in like Battle City. But I've never seen 2 characters just be like, hey, I'll trade you this card for this. And I was like, oh wow, we've never seen that in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. But then the little robot's like, you can't just trade out in the streets. You've got to have a representative watching you, so you got to make sure these trades are fair and stuff. So yeah, you can see the rigidity in this world, which I also find really weird because it's so strange for a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series to take jabs at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Basically, the adult Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, 5 spell and trap zones, 5 monster zones, Master Rule 5, basically. The kids in this world are like, that's too rigid, it's really boring, there's too many rules, we need a simpler version. I don't know, it's just weird to hear that being said. So it's like a meta commentary in a way. Now, besides our main character, Yuga, we've got a couple other main characters. They are Romin Kirishima. She's the musician girl. She says she doesn't duel very much, but she's shrouded in a little bit of mystery because she's been taking photos. She might be working for someone, maybe the evil of this. We don't know just yet. But she's an interesting character. I really like her design. I should probably mention this now. The art style, it is simpler and it doesn't match the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Styles. Honestly, I like this new art style. I think it looks good. The characters look clean, so yeah, it looks cool. But apart from Roman, we also get Suigetsu Gakuto. He seems to be like the class representative. He's our, to me, the expositional character. Whenever you need to know something about dueling, he'll exposit the dialogue to people. I like this character. I don't know, I just think he's funny. I like his little noise, he goes, "Ooh," or something like that. I thought that's pretty good. So, I like him. I'd like to see what deck he plays if he duels. Then we've got our, I assume our rival character. We don't know too much about him now. All we know he's called Rook as his nickname. His name's Tamijo something. He seems to have some kind of electric power, which he calls his devil power before he got interrupted because no one really cared, which I thought was funny. Seems to act like the Chidori from Naruto. He's only allowed to use it twice a day. It's established in this video. So yeah, I guess if you can touch electricity or machines or something, you can shut them down. We'll learn more about that when it comes up. Those are all our main characters, and Rook takes Yuga after he hears about his new rush dueling style to this sort of abandoned place where this AI who uses Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is pretty cool. The gimmick of this is you can't beat him with rigid master rule dueling. You have to beat him with something new and something fresh. So Yuga installs the rush dueling program that he's designed, and through this dueling style he's able to win, and this duel style gets uploaded to everybody's duel discs. Whether it has replaced master rule dueling or it's going to coincide with it, just like how speed dueling did with master rules in Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, that we'll find out in the next episode, of course. But that is basically our premise. Our main character wants to change the world. He wants to make it fun and enjoyable, even for kids. And when they're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh!, that is just so weird. I just want to watch it just for the fact that they're trying to... I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird premise. We want Yuga to become the duel king, whatever that means. We still don't know that either. And at the start of the episode, it seemed like a dream, but it seemed more like a flash forward of Yuga when he was the duel king. He's inside that giant mech. Somebody else is helping him pilot it, kind of like a Megazord kind of thing. So, yeah, I guess there's these mecha battle things that I don't know about still. But yeah, that's our premise. I think everything you can take away from this is, it is kid-friendly. The new dueling style, which we can talk about in literally just after this, is also kid-friendly because there's less rules to it, and it's just much more focused on simplistic style of dueling. Literally, in this duel, had the Blue Eyes user just summoned one more monster, he could have won the duel in his very first turn, and that would have been a very short duel. It was nice to see Blue Eyes White Dragon summoned as well. Even though he did get wrecked, technically, it was treated with respect. Everyone was like, such a powerful card. So I did like that. I like our main character. I don't think he's annoying. I was expecting like kind of like an annoying voice or anything like that, but no, I think he's serious when he needs to be serious. His voice isn't grating or anything like that. Like, well, I guess it's the dub that normally annoys me with some of the voices, but that's absolutely fine. I like our supporting cast. I like the designs of the characters. I like the art style. I'm just curious to see where it goes. As long as they keep sort of a child-friendly atmosphere, but a bit of seriousness every now and then, I can see me sticking with the series for the rest of it. The takeaway from that is, give it a watch. I enjoyed it. I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but I have. So, there you go. Also, in terms of the OP and ED, I didn't really like the ED very much. The ending song, it was alright, but it was okay. The opening, though, I'd probably put it in my top 5 Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe top 4. I liked it. I thought it was okay. Something that you guys will have to explain to me as well is the duel disc turns into the shape of a 7. And the explanation for it is so ridiculous because the corporation that owns the duel discs and runs all this, they're called YUGIOH Corp, right? They could be the bad guys of this series, most likely. Their logo has a hexagon. Is it 6 hexagon? That's 6 sides, right? Let me just double check. Yeah, they have a hexagon as their logo, which is 6 sides. So Yuga's new rush duel style has another side, which is 7, but it's not a 7-sided shape, it's just the number 7. I don't know, is there 7 sides on the number 7? If I count them like that, is that right? I don't understand. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, there's 6 sides on the number 7, I think. So it doesn't make sense. That's stupid. He had that because it's an extra side, so it makes 7. Unless I'm missing something, someone explain that to me. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. They should have called it Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush instead of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. But whatever, I don't care. It's the 7th series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Call it what the hell you want. But the opening for the anime as well, I thought was really good. I liked it. The new rush duel mechanics, the way it works is, it's essentially speed dueling in terms of the field layout. You have 3 monster zones, 3 spell and trap zones. You do have a field spell, you have your deck zone, you do have a graveyard. At the start of the duel, you open with 4 cards in your hand, and then even if it's the first turn of the duel, you draw. So you got your first turn drawback. Nice. You can summon, normal summon, as many times as you want. As many cards you got in your hand, you can summon that many. You can summon 3 monsters to the field if you want. You can summon 2 monsters to the field, tribute them both to tribute summon a monster. You can do that until you run out of cards into your hand. You can set trap cards face down, they exist. You can activate spell cards still. If you end your turn, your opponent draws, they do their turn, they can do the exact same thing. Back to your turn, I've used all the cards in my hand. Now it's my turn, I draw a fresh 5-card hand again. So the benefit of this type of dueling is you want to use as many resources as you can, really, because you get a fresh new hand the next turn. So you kind of want to just play everything. I guess there's some strategic play to that, which I think will be quite interesting. But one of the things is not really mentioned in this episode, but is something that I read about, is the fact that all cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel, they have a inherent once per turn effect. It's basically a default. You can't use effects of stuff more than once in a single turn. This basically stops the problem we have in real life Master Rule dueling. Firewall Dragon is a good card, but it's turned into a broken card based on the fact that you can keep using its effect over and over and over again. That's what ruins games and what causes cards like this to have their effects changed. However, this completely solves that, and I like this. You'll see if you read some of the English cards for Rush Dueling, they always have requirements. It's like requirement for its effect to be used. Discard 1 card, and then they have the effect underneath. I think that's really good as well. I like the designs of the new cards. I like how they look. I like that they're incorporating old style cards into it as well. And then just giving a little tiny bit of a different look. That's cool. I wish they would have changed the back of the cards though, to just a completely different colour, or maybe have a big fat 7 in there or something, because I hate the fact that speed dueling cards, rush dueling cards, and normal dueling cards, if they're upside down and you get them all mixed up, you don't know which is which anymore unless you go in and search them all. That's the only thing that bothers me about that. But whatever. There's one more important thing about rush dueling, I must call it speed dueling then, is the fact that you can have 1 legend card in your deck. A legend card is something like Blue Eyes White Dragon. I assume it's also the same for Yuga's ace monster, which was High Paladin, SEVENS Road Magician. I assume that was his legend card. A legend card is basically a really powerful card you have in your deck, and you're only allowed 1 of it. So it makes them extra special. I really like this, and I might make a video on it because I guess one of the problems with Master Rule Dueling, which makes it rigid, is the fact that you can have 50 boss monsters in your deck. These super powerful monsters. I've just got rid of your Borrello Dragon, do some ultimate play, and you get something out. I don't know a better example. A Borrel Sword Dragon. And then you got this whole nightmare you got to deal with again. Whereas this, you've got 1 boss monster. It's all about supplementing that 1 boss monster. Keeping it on the field or getting it back to the field. I don't know. I don't know if special summons exist in this new dueling style just yet. I assume they do. But there's no reason to special summon from the hand. You'll probably special summon from the deck or the graveyard. So, yeah, I find that quite interesting. The fact as well, I think there's going to be no extra deck monsters in this game. Don't quote me on that one. I don't think there will be. Oh no, I think I did read somewhere there will be extra deck cards. There just won't be Pendulum or Link monsters. If that's the case, that's okay. I would be happy if they didn't use any extra deck monsters, to be honest with you. Maybe Fusion. Just keep Fusion in there. I don't know, actually, maybe you could get away with Synchronic Seas. Then you start complicating the game again. I'm not too sure. We'll see. It'd be pretty cool to just keep so many monsters and Xyz. But I guess you could only Xyz once, couldn't you? No, you could Xyz twice, because you can't get 2 monsters on the field. Interesting. But there's layers to this. I'm curious to see where it goes. People will say it's very similar to speed dueling. This is how I described it. I was trying to think about it the other night. Master Rule Dueling is for adults, really, isn't it? It's for people that understand the game. It's for people that are willing to put the effort in to learn the mechanics and kind of really struggle to get good at it because there's so much you need to learn. Speed dueling is a faster, simpler version of that. I used to say that speed dueling was for beginners to introduce people to the game. I don't say that anymore. I think speed dueling is just a quicker, simpler way for intermediate style people, whereas rush dueling is the perfect way to get people into Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's not really Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush duels are more of a completely separate card game. It's not really Yu-Gi-Oh! It is and it isn't. So that's how I feel. It's a good introduction, gets you into card games, but not really into Master Rule Dueling. It'll get you into Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Dueling anyway. So, yes. I don't want to dwell on this episode too much. I've talked a lot. 23 minutes. I wonder how much I'll be able to cut this review down. We shall see. The only other thing I'm going to say is Seven's Road Magician. He had an effect was for each attribute in the graveyard, he gains 300 attack, and you can mill the top card of the deck to the graveyard, I think, to get that ability as well. He's the first ace monster, I guess, that doesn't have 2500 attack. That's not true, because Decode Talker had 2300 attack, and then when he got boosted, he went to 26, 29, 32. But he did have Firewall Dragon, which turned out to be the main one. So expect another monster. The fact that this is the first card we've seen, I think we'll see more. Yuga seems to use a spellcaster, but a bit of everything kind of deck. We know Rook uses dragons. We know that the girl Romin uses, I think she uses psychic monsters or something like that. We don't know if she duels just yet, so that might be a spoiler. My apologies. Is there anything I missed in today's episode that I didn't talk about? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to know your thoughts and feelings on this first episode. Honestly, I went in expecting very little, but I've walked away really enjoying it and really wanting more. And I don't understand, I don't really know why. I think it's just because it's so fun and energetic. I enjoyed the serious tone of the last one. I enjoyed the mix of serious and fun in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, even though that got a bit crap at the end. And I didn't really like pendulum summonings. I didn't love Link monsters either. So this new simpler style, I think it's okay. It's a breath of fresh air. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. Thank you all for watching, and catch you later.